Hello again. Our cane growers say the health promotions levy, or colloquially known as the sugar tax, undermines the sustainability of the industry as well as the millions of jobs and rural livelihoods it supports. They've slammed claims that the sugar tax has not been associated with job losses in related industries in South Africa. There has in fact been some recent research into this matter. The organization says these claims are incorrect and disingenuous. Well, to tell us exactly why, it's the chairperson of the SA Cane Growers, Higgins Mdluli. Good afternoon. Welcome to ENC, and thank you very much for joining us. So you disagree with the research that's been done by the SA Medical Research Council that in terms of their recent study that there is no correlation or there's no evidence that the health promotion levy, or what we generally known as the sugar tax, is associated with job losses. Tell us more.
Thanks very much, Dan, and to the viewers. Yes, we believe the research that has been released recently, it fundamentally represents the negative impact of the sugar tax especially in the sugar industry. Why we also say so, as you've indicated, we are saying it is very much incorrect and disingenuous to draw conclusion from the quarterly labor force survey data set averaging employment in the full sector of the South African agriculture. The data set that they are talking about, that they've drawn conclusion from, it includes employment across all industries in the agriculture in South Africa, including major employers such as grain, citrus, and the livestock. So if you look at it in that way, from ourselves, we are saying the sugar tax, yes, it has had little or no impact on the viability of most sectors in the South African agriculture.
Yeah.
But it has had a very real and direct impact on the sugarcane, on the South African sugar industry, in that it has reduced the local demand of sugar. And to suggest otherwise, then it's more in bad faith.
Yeah, so Mr. Mdluli, your device has just adjusted itself. If you're able to readjust it so we can see you, it's now cutting you off on your neck. Just readjust it a little bit the other way. Now, you are saying this research was putting all the sectors, all the different areas of agriculture, not just the sugar, but when you look at the sugar industry itself, has there been a direct impact, for example, on the demand for sugarcane?
Yes, from our side, there is both independent and industry data that reveals the sugar tax has had job losses for sugarcane. An independent study by the National Economic Development and Labour Council, which is NEDLAC, which was released in 2020, it put the jobs losses in the sugar and beverage industries to 16,000. And the study compared employment figures in the industry between 2017 and 2019, and it found out that 9,700 jobs were lost by commercial and small-scale sugarcane farmers after the sugar tax was introduced in 2018. So these job losses, as I understand, also my colleagues were indicating that it has got more to do with COVID. If you look at our numbers, we're talking about the job losses are due to the impact of the sugar tax that happened before COVID-19 pandemic and the associated disruption of the economy after 2020.
Okay,
so which is in contrast to their research. To
the Medical Research Council's information. Okay, but
yes.
You've got this other research by NEDLAC, as you've said. But tell me, from what you know now, what are your members? This is a particular period. This is before COVID-19. Now, you said the last report was in 2020, but COVID-19, we've been out of it since 2022. Are you noticing the similar trends in the last 2 years to 2024 in terms of lower demand for sugarcane and therefore more impact on jobs?
Yes, the sugar demand has dropped from that time. Demand for local sugar buyers, it has fallen. The SA Sugar Association, we are estimating the sugar tons that accounts for at least 250,000 tons per year drop on the domestic sales. So it has continued. It's continued at that trend, but we also have a study showing that if that trend continues, we will be losing 10% more jobs by 2031.
So do you think your small-scale growers will also be affected, therefore?
Definitely. They are the most affected ones because as you are looking at, instead of not losing jobs, we also have a threat of them even losing the land under the sugar cultivation, meaning once they are no more available, they will abandon the fields, and then they also lose the fields itself, especially the small-scale growers.
It's a difficult balancing act, though, I guess, for policymakers and legislatures. I just want to get your view here, because you've got a health situation. We know that sugar has caused a lot of health issues, and then scientifically it's proven that overconsumption in some people may lead to all kinds of health issues. And that's why this is called it's related to health. At the same time, you as an industry contribute to the GDP of this country. You've got jobs that now you say are being shared. What is the best balance for you?
Yeah, it is difficult. Obviously, whatever the intention for tax was, we are saying from our side, it has come with unintended consequences that are dire to us as a sugarcane grower.
Do you want the sugar tax to be scrapped?
From our side, our first price is to have it scrapped. We would like them to review and eventually scrap it, because if you look at it, if it continues at this level, and even worse, if there's an increase, then we have a situation where we will lose a total of 21,000 small-scale growers.
Thank you very much for your time. Higgins Mdluli, the chairperson of the SA cane growers. They are now calling for the scrapping of the sugar tax because they say there is evidence that it's costing jobs. And if it remains as it is, small-scale cane growers, some 21,000 of them in the near future, will also have to be forced to shut. Businesses gone and more jobs will be lost. Now, Western Cape Acting Judge President Patricia Goliath has sworn in Western Cape Premier